ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधाति भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। I'm giving you an elaborate introduction to the Gita. So if you are listening to the classes continuously, then you will understand and you will appreciate the flow of the topics. Hope that you appreciate and understand the topics we discussed so far. Hoping that I will start today's class from where we left in the previous class. We were discussing Purushartha. The topic was Purushartha, and we have discussed and seen the limitations of the three Purushartha: Dharma, Artha, and Kama. To emphasize the idea of the limitation of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purushartha, and to arrive at the actual Purushartha, that is Moksha Purushartha. So we will discuss further on this topic today. we must understand and clearly see the limitations of dharma, artha, kama, purushartha. To arrive at moksha purushartha, so we have to see the limitations of dharma, artha, kama. There is a beautiful song on awakening. It's a Vairagya song. The song, it is in simple Sanskritam. So I will recite the shloka. You yourself will understand the meaning of the shloka. The language is so simple, and the meaning is so beautiful. So you will appreciate that, the meaning. Kama krodascha lobascha dehe tishtanti taskaraha jnanaratnapaharaya tasmat jagrata jagrata. Ashaya badyate lokaha karmana paribadyate ayuhu kshayam na janati tasmat jagrata jagrata. Mata nasti pita nasti nasti bandhu sahodaraha artham nasti griham nasti tasmat jagrata jagrata. Aishvaryam swapna sankasham yauvanam kusumopamam kshanikam jalamayuscha tasmat jagrata jagrata. Janma dukkam jara dukkam jaya dukkam punah punah samsara sagaram dukkam tasmat jagrata jagrata. Jagrata jagrata, it keeps coming. Jagrata, it is not the Tamil Jagrata. Jagrata, no. Jagrata is awake, awake, wake up. This samsara, this life of becoming, it's very painful. Therefore, awake, awake. It's a call to wake up to the reality. We have a mantra similar in terms of meaning, even in the Kathopanishad. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Uttishtata, arise, Jagrata, awake. And you would have heard a famous quote of Swami Vivekananda: arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. In fact, Swami Vivekananda is slightly changed the quote of Kathopanishad and he presented. The Kathopanishad, the meaning is different. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Arise, awake, approach the learned person. Go to the teacher and learn. That is the meaning of the mantra in the Kathopanishad. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call to the reality. It is a call to stop seeking dharmartha kama from the world. Stop seeking dharmartha kama from the artha. That artha means security. Kama means happiness. And dharma means providing for security and happiness for the other world. That is dharma. So stop seeking dharma artha kama. Why should we stop seeking dharma artha kama? Because the world cannot provide that. Therefore, wake up, jagrata. Don't get cheated. Don't get hypnotized by the glamours of the world. Why? Because it is all dukkham. It's all painful. There is no sukham in the worldly pursuits. In the midst of continuous dukkham, you get occasionally a few drops of sukham, a few doses of sukham. Kada chitta sukham. Therefore, jagrata, jagrata. I will tell you a very beautiful story. I like this story, and I have told this story in my other classes. But for the sake of other students, I will retell the story. In the Mahabharata, there was a conversation between between Vidura and Dhritarashtra. And during the dialogue, Vidura is telling a story. Vidura is telling a story to Dhritarashtra. In those days, the best way to convey some message is through some story. So this is a story which Vidura was telling to Dhritarashtra, and this story it occurs in the Stri Parva of the Mahabharata. Parva means section, so it occurs in the Stri Parva. There was a Brahmana. Once the Brahmana was traveling to his home city by walk, and he had to pass through a dense forest. The forest was so dense, and therefore, without knowing the way out of the forest, that person got caught in the middle of the forest. It was a dangerous forest. There were many wild creatures. So this Brahmana got frightened and he wanted to find a way out of the forest. So without knowing what to do, because he caught in the middle of the forest, he ran here and there. He wanted to escape. And there was a huge pit covered with the creepers of the plant. And this Brahmana didn't see that. So when he was running here and there, he fell into that huge pit. And while he was falling down, he was caught in the midst of the creepers. And he was hanging with his feet caught at the top of the pit and his head facing the bottom of the pit. So he was hanging upside down in the pit. He was in Shirasasana in the mid-air. When he was hanging like this, at the bottom of the pit, he observed a huge snake. The snake was ready to devour him. Brahmana got frightened. So he lifted his head slightly above, and at the mouth of the pit, he saw a huge elephant. The elephant was dark in color, and it had 6 faces and 12 legs. Meanwhile, there were many rats. The rats in black color and white color, they are slowly eating away the roots of the creeper, the creeper which is holding this Brahmana upside down in the pit. And there was a huge honeycomb at the mouth of the pit, and many honeybees of huge sizes, they were drinking honey. When this Brahmana fell into that pit, he disturbed the honeycomb by mistake. And a swarm of frightful honeybees it flew towards him and started singing and buzzing around him. And this Brahmana, though he was screaming in pain, when a few drops of honey from the honeycomb fell down, he just stuck out his tongue to have a taste of honey. Even in that painful situation, he wanted to enjoy the honey drops. And added to this situation, there was a tiger waiting for him at the mouth of the pit. So you can imagine the condition in which the Brahmana is in now. A tiger was waiting at the mouth of the pit to finish him off, and huge snake at the bottom of the pit ready to swallow him, and huge elephant with all its terrible features at the top of the pit. The rats in black and white, they are slowly gnawing at the roots of the creepers, and because of which the Brahmana is slowly approaching the bottom of the pit. And frightful honeybees, they are flying towards him and stinging him severely. In that condition too, that person, he wanted to enjoy the honey drops. So you can imagine what a fool that Brahmana can be. Would there be any other fool worse than Brahmana? So who is that person? Who is that Brahmana? Let us not think that Brahmana is someone. It is ourselves. We ourselves are that person. Every one of us are in the same situation. This world is a wild forest, and the pit is the status in which we have fallen into. This Manisha Janma, that is a pit. And the tiger waiting at the top of the pit, it is nothing but the painful experiences of the world with its terrible manifestations ready to kill us. And the dark elephant with 6 faces and 12 legs is that Kala, is the time. 6 faces stands for the Rutu, 6 seasons. And 12 legs stands for the 12 months of a year. And a number of white and black rats eating away the roots of the creeper. They are nothing but day and night. White rat represents daytime. Black rats, so they slowly eat away our lifespan in the world. And the honeybees stinging at him, it represents the number of problems we encounter in our daily life. And what about the huge, dangerous snake at the bottom of the pit? What is that? It is that the death ready to swallow us at any time. And this person is slowly moving towards that snake because the roots of the creeper are slowly giving away. So this is the situation of our life in the world. We are confronted with pain and suffering, and death is always at our doorstep. So in this condition, in such a predicament, what do? We stick out our tongue and want to enjoy this few drops of honey. This honey represents the occasional pleasures, sukham, what we enjoy in the world. So the Brahmana is nothing but we ourselves. In such a predicament, we want to enjoy sukham. And this sukham, what we want to enjoy, is it permanent or impermanent? Is it nityam or anityam? It is anityam. Anitya sukham. For wanting to enjoy that anitya sukham, we forget all the pain, we forget all the tortures, and stick out our tongue, stick out our sense organs. The tongue is nothing but our sense organs towards the sense objects. For want of that sukham, anitya sukham, what do? We embrace continuous dukkha. Therefore, we understand from the story, in spite of knowing that everything is dukkham, how foolishly we run towards the objects of pleasures. How foolishly we run towards the objects of security. Therefore, it needs a lot of discrimination to understand these facts. What should an intelligent man do in this situation, in this life, which Bhagavan has given? Should we pursue artha kama throughout our life and not listening to our inner voice, which is asking for? Nothing wrong in pursuing artha kama. It has its place in the life, but seeking freedom through artha kama, it is not possible. And the world cannot give freedom. The world cannot give us sukham. Really speaking, what the world can give is only dukkham. Sarvam paravasham dukkham. In fact, that is not the problem with the world. The world is what it is. I am not presenting a pessimistic view of the world, but to make you understand and look at the things objectively. All that what we seek in the world will not give us sukham. Life becomes dukkham when we depend on somebody else for happiness, for security, for peace, for completeness. The life will become dukkham. This is what dharmartha kama pursuits they do for us. The pursuit of dharmartha kama is a dependent pursuit. In the pursuit of dharmartha kama, we depend on something external to us for security, for happiness, thinking that it will give what we project. We project something and we think that it will give. It is our adhyasa. Adhyasa means superimposition. It is your wish which is superimposed on something, and you take it to be the source of happiness and security. Even if it provides that, we forget the fact that anything which makes me dependent, it cannot be a source of happiness. It cannot be a source of security. If you think marriage and children and real estates, they are the source of happiness and security, it is nothing but your superimposition. It is called Shobhana Adhyasa. Shobhana Adhyasa is seeing only what you want to see. That's your partial vision. Recently, I read a joke, and I shared that joke in a Sanskritam group because the joke was in Sanskritam. Probably some of you would have seen that. Adharapatreне vivaha pramanapatram na yojayet chet bhavan avivagita ityeva manyate. If you don't link Aadhaar card with your marriage certificate, you will deem to be a bachelor. This is the meaning of that joke. Though it is just a joke, but many of my friends in some other group, they wanted to become a bachelor again. So I told them, marriage is not a problem. The problem is not with the marriage. The problem is with you. You look for the solution through marriage. You think that marriage will make you secure. You think that marriage will make you happy. That is a problem. Marriage is a setup which is intended for two people to come together and grow together spiritually. When there is too much of expectation and superimposition, then marriage will become a problem. Then marriage will not remain just a word, it becomes a sentence. So when you depend on something emotionally, it is going to be a big problem. Therefore, the same understanding should be applicable with anything we come across in the world. There is no problem with the world. It is as it should be. Therefore, this understanding of the reality of the world itself is a big revelation. And this must have been experienced by us in our daily life, but probably we would have failed to recognize it. Therefore, understand, where there is expectation, where there is dependence, paradhilatvam, then there is dukkha. When you depend on something, it is naturally because of your expectation of security and happiness from that thing. But things are not under your control. The situations are not under your control. Therefore, your expectations may be or may not be fulfilled. If it is fulfilled, then there is no problem. If it is fulfilled all the time, there is no problem at all. But the problem is, most of the time it doesn't happen the way we want. In fact, it happens quite opposite. Always there are four possibilities of outcome of the results of our action. Either we get what we want, or we get more than what we want, or we get less than what we want, but sometimes quite opposite to what we want. Therefore, when things don't happen the way I want, or if it happens against my expectation, then it will lead to frustration, disappointment, unhappiness. Sometimes it causes depression too. Therefore, as long as you depend on external factors to make yourself secure, to make yourself peaceful, it will be a problem. You cannot avoid pain and suffering, dukkha. Therefore, we should examine our dependences, the object of dependences. If you analyze, already we have done that in our previous classes. If you analyze, you will see that our dependence, it will fall on the three things. What are they? Dharma, Artha, and Kama. Since Sarvam Paravasham Dukkham, leaning on Dharmartha Kama is going to be Dukkham. As long as there is dependence on dharmartha kama, your life will continue to be miserable. You will remain ever displeased. Nothing can make you pleased. Anything you pick up, whether it is the provider of artha or the provider of kama, they are going to be limited in terms of time, in terms of place, in terms of content, and therefore you who are displeased will remain displeased in spite of getting what you want, in spite of grabbing what you want through your dharmartha kama pursuits. And we have seen the last class the limitations of dharmartha kama, and also we have recognized that any amount of dharmartha kama is not going to make me free from being a seeker, because seeking is dependence. And seeking causes dukkham. If seeking causes dukkham, then why do we seek dharmartha kama? Why do I seek dharmartha kama if it makes me dependent and dukkham? What we really seek through the pursuit of dharmartha kama is, what we really seek is freedom, which is otherwise called moksha. In Sanskritam we say moksha, otherwise called purnatvam or completeness. Therefore, the last purushartha in the list of the 4 purushartha, though it may be the last purushartha, but that is a purushartha what we really seek. That is a purushartha what we really seek, and that is moksha. And moksha is freedom from seeking, freedom from being a seeker, freedom from being a seeker of security, freedom from being a seeker of happiness, freedom from being a seeker of shanti. So I don't want to be a seeker. So freedom from being a seeker, that is called moksha. So freedom is the ultimate thing what I seek for. And seeking freedom through dharmartha kama is like searching for your finger ring which you lost. You have lost your finger ring in a place, but you are searching for the ring in a place where there is more light, though you have lost the ring in the dark place. So it is a misplaced search. Therefore, tasmat dharmartha kama moksha chaturvida purushartheshu moksha eva parama purushartha. Moksha is the freedom is the ultimate purushartha, and it is the nitya purushartha. Moksha eva nitya purushartha. Therefore, what do I seek in life, really speaking? As an individual being, as a jiva, what I seek in life is, I am ever desirous of moksha, freedom. I want to be free. And anyone seeking security, really speaking, is not seeking security. He is seeking freedom from the sense of being insecure. Freedom from the sense of insecurity. Artha Purusharthi, that is a seeker of security, he doesn't seek security. He seeks freedom from not having security. Freedom from not having security. Artha Purusharthi vastavikataya artham na icchanti. Artha Purusharthi vastavikataya artham na ichchati. Parantu artha abhavat mukti ichchati. Similarly, the one who is desirous of various pleasures, really speaking, he wants to be free from unhappiness. The Kama Purusharthi kamam na ichchati. Kama Purusharthi dukkhat mukti ichchati. He wants to be free from dukkha, from unhappiness. The freedom is there. Freedom is really what he seeks. Similarly, the one who pursues dharma, he wants freedom from the sorrow in the world where he believes to go after this life. Dharmartha kamaha, the dharma purusharthi or dharma kamaha, janmantara dukkhebhyaha muktim icchati. He wants to be free from the sorrow in the world which he goes after death. Therefore, whether it is dharma or artha or kama, what we really seek is freedom only. And therefore, there are not four purusharthas. Really speaking, there is only one purushartha, and that is freedom, that is moksha purushartha. In fact, the other purusharthas, they are nothing but the distorted search, distorted seeking of only moksha. And since the pursuit of dharmartha kama is fraught with defects, doshas, they are called sadosha purushartha. Doshena saha vartate iti sadoshaha. They are sadosha purushartha. That is, purusharthas which are endowed with dosha, defects. Whereas moksha purushartha, it is free from doshas. It is fraught with no doshas. Therefore, moksha purushartha is called nirdosha purushartha. Nirgataha doshaha yasmat iti nirdoshaha, nirdosha purushartha. Therefore, from our discussions we understand dharmartha kamaha sadoshaha mokshastu nirdoshaha. Therefore, what do we seek in life? Tasmat vayam sarve moksham eva ichchamaha, moksham eva prarthayamaha. And that is called purushartha nishchayaha. It's an important thing. Arriving at what I want decisively, conclusively, and that is called purushartha. That's a clarity. I have come to the conclusion, the clarity now, what I want in life. That is called purushartha nishchayaha. Purushartha nishchayaha means ascertaining the goal, ascertaining what I seek in life. Without knowing what I want, what goal is, what can we do in life, what can we seek? Therefore, define the goal. The goal is freedom. It is called moksha. So, moksha means freedom. Therefore, to arrive at the conclusion that I seek only moksha, that is called purushartha nishchaya or purushartha viveka. Through discrimination, through analysis, we come to the conclusion that what I want is really freedom, and that is moksha. And what I seek through dharmartha kama is nothing but only freedom, moksha. Therefore, there cannot be four purushartha. There can be only one purushartha, and that is moksha. And dharmartha kama, they are sadosha purushartha. They make me dependent. And what I want is nirdosha purushartha, which is moksha. So we want, so that is the conclusion. And therefore, the one who is desirous of freedom, he has to accept moksha as a pursuit, moksha as a purushartha, as a only purushartha. This desire for moksha, for freedom, that only, in fact, it drives every human being to pursue dharmartha kama. Therefore, this ultimate freedom, moksha, it is not something unknown to us. It is not an unknown pursuit. It is not ajnatam. It is jnatameva. Moksha ichcha eva sarv dharmartha kaman prati pravartayati. Moksha ichcha alone, it pushes us towards the pursuit of dharmartha kama, because we don't see the limitations of dharmartha kama and we want moksha, we want freedom. Therefore, that desire alone, it drives us towards dharmartha kama. Therefore, we cannot say, I don't know moksha. Moksha is not something ajnatam, unknown, we cannot say. So, moksha ajnataha purushartha na, is jnataha eva. It is a known purushartha. The desire for freedom, in fact, it underlies all our pursuits. Therefore, I need freedom. I want to be free. That is clear. And anything I gain from the external world, it cannot make me free. It cannot make me complete. Why? Because they are agantukam. Agantukam means they come, they are borrowed, they are all borrowed. It is not intrinsic. If they are borrowed, then they are not mine. And therefore, I cannot expect complete security or freedom from it. And therefore, in spite of occasional moments of pleasure and comfort, I will be insecure. I will be displeased because they are incidental. They are agantukam. And I am dependent on incidental security, incidental pleasure. And this is a fact which you cannot change by any amount of objects or persons and situations and that you pick up in your life. As long as you are dependent, you will be in sorrow. So dependence in sorrow and independence is freedom. Independence is joy. And dharma artha kama makes me dependent, and therefore they cannot give me security, they cannot give me happiness, the sense of completeness, the wholeness, the purnatvam, and they are the fundamental goals for me in life. That security, happiness, I want to be secure and happy. I want to be secure and happy all the time, all the places, and that is the fundamental goal. And this fundamental goal, it is not available with the dharma artha kama. You may think that a status, a public status or a financial status or even a marital status would give you security. Another person may think a job or a position or money or health will give him security. The means of security may vary, but the security itself is universal. Similarly, the seeking of happiness and peace may vary, but seeking happiness is universal. Therefore, seeking happiness means seeking freedom from being unhappy, seeking freedom from the sense of insecurity. That is universal. If that is so, you tell me now, is moksha purushartha, is it universal or is it only for a few selected people? Is everybody seeking moksha or only a few people in the world really wants moksha? In fact, everybody wants moksha. Therefore, moksha must be universal. It must be in nitya purushartha and it must be nirdosha purushartha and it must be universal. Everybody wants moksha is a fact. The very word moksha, the Sanskrita word moksha, it is derived from the dhatu, much dhatu. Much means to release, to be free from, or to get rid of. To get rid of is a good meaning. To get rid of. What is to be get rid of? Insecurity, unhappiness, ashanti, apurnatvam. The person wants to get rid of insecurity. It means he wants to be free from being insecure. He wants to get rid of unhappiness. It means he wants to be free from dukkha, ashanti. He wants to get rid of the disturbance. That is freedom. Apurnatvam, completeness. If apurnatvam come in incompleteness, if incompleteness is your nature, you cannot get rid of it. There will not be any moksha. If that is your incompleteness is your nature, you cannot do anything. If apurnatvam is not your nature, then what is the necessity of to get rid of? What will you get rid of? When apurnatvam is not your nature, you don't have anything to get rid of. Do you want to remove something which doesn't exist? Yes. You are trying to solve the problem which really doesn't exist. And that is what the whole Vedanta is about. Vedanta, really speaking, it helps you to solve the problem which really doesn't exist. But I have a problem. I am not happy. I am not secure. And these are my experiences in our day-to-day transaction. How can you say they are not there? Yes, if they are there, then understand they are not your nature. They are not your swarupam. If they are not my nature, then they must be agantukam. They must have been borrowed by me. They are incidental, agantukam. I borrow all these notions and suffer and think that I am a samsari. The notions are I am insecure, I am unhappy. So all these are notions. Therefore, the whole problem is purely notional. And for the notional problem, what is the solution? Since the problem being notional, the solution can be only in the form of knowledge, jnana. The problem is notional. I am insecure. I am not happy. I am not complete. It is because of our one's own conclusion. Therefore, it is notional. That is a problem. And the problem for and solution for that problem can be only in the form of knowledge. The knowledge should arise and remove the wrong notions. Therefore, the whole solution for the problem, what I have, it lies in the discovery of myself, self-discovery. And our Shastra says that what I seek for, whether it is security or happiness or peace, it cannot be outside of me. The locus of them cannot be away from myself. The cause of problem is myself, my notions, and therefore the solution for the problems it cannot be located outside of me. It must be myself, only myself. Therefore, I have to look at myself now whether I'm really bound. Agam bandha kim. Only when I realize that I'm really bound, then you will look for the solution to be out of bondage. Only when I realize that I have a disease, then I will go to the doctor. First, I should recognize that I have the disease. So, based on my physical disability, I must recognize I have some problem. Only when I discover the problem, then I will attempt to diagnose the cause. After diagnosis and arriving at the cause, then I must willingly submit to the doctor to cure the disease. I must not try my own medication. I must consult the doctor. And the doctor prescribes to some medicine to overcome the disease and helps me to get back to my original health. Similarly, I have the disease of samsara. I have the problem of seeking, the problem of becoming. Therefore, I feel I am limited, I am bound, I am insecure, I am dukkhi, I am apurnaha. This is the disease. This is the vyadi. And any vyadi is dukkham. And samsara vyadi is ati dukkham. And I must recognize this dukkham. If I don't recognize the cause of dukkham, and if I am actively busy in the pursuit of dharma, takama, then I will attempt to find a solution for the problem of samsara. I'm so busy in the world, preoccupied with my own priorities, and there is no place for recognizing this samsara vyadi, then it's a problem. Therefore, the cause of dukkham is not others. It's not my wife or husband or my children or grandchildren or the society or the government. They are not the problem. Therefore, the first discovery is I cannot depend on anything other than me to be happy, other than me to be secure. Therefore, the cause of problem is myself. I am the cause. I am not happy identifying with any limitations. I don't want to be limited in terms of happiness, security, or anything. If I am the cause, then I must have the sincere desire to get out of this situation. The situation is it's an helpless situation. Therefore, I must have a sincere desire to come out of this helpless situation. I must have value for independence. I must understand that I cannot find a solution by myself through dharma, artha, kama pursuits. I am helpless. This helplessness is also something to be discovered. Once you discover that, you will surrender to the teacher. The teaching of the teacher who comes under the sampradaya. If I am the cause of the problem, then I should be the solution for it. I am the solution. And this is what the last portion of the Veda, we discussed Jnana Kanda, which is otherwise called Vedanta, otherwise called Upanishad. It teaches. What is his teaching? You are the problem and you are the solution. And this Vedanta, it has to be learned from the Guru, because the words of the Shastram has to be handled by the Guru to drive home the teaching, and the teaching removes all the wrong notions about myself. The teaching removes all the wrong notions I have about myself. The problem being ignorance, not knowing my real nature, and the solution is knowledge, jnanam, and that is the subject matter of the last portion of the Veda, and that is why it is called Jnana Kandam, otherwise called Vedanta, Vedasya Antaha, Vedanta. The knowledge of this Vedanta, the Shastram, as revealed by the teacher, it removes ignorance, ajnanam about myself, and helps me to discover my real nature. And Vedanta has got another name called Upanishad. The very meaning of the word Upanishad is the teaching which takes oneself closer to oneself. The very meaning of the word Upanishad, we will discuss in another context in detail. The very meaning of the word Upanishad is the teaching which takes oneself very closer to oneself. Who can be closer to yourself? You yourself. Only you can be closer to yourself. Therefore, the teaching is to take yourself to yourself. That is called Vedanta. That is called Upanishad. And now, what are we going to study? Gita. Gita is also an Upanishad only. It is Gita-Upanishad. How can I say Gita is an Upanishad? Gita is part of Mahabharata, and we are talking about Upanishad, Vedanta, connected with Vedas. How can I say Gita is an Upanishad then? We know it very well. At the end of every chapter of the Gita, what do we say? Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu. So every chapter of the Gita is an Upanishad. That it is in fact Bhagavachanam, Upanishatsu, Gita Su. So Bhagavad Gita is an Upanishad. And Upanishad, this Gita, it removes ignorance about myself by giving knowledge. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is not simply a book for bedtime study or a book which you refer when you are in some problem. It's not a book meant for that. Gita is a moksha shastra. It is a shastram which gives freedom. The shastram which gives you freedom by imparting knowledge. Therefore, it is a Upanishad. It is a moksha shastram. And therefore, this moksha shastram, which is nothing but the Upanishad, the content of the Gita not being different from the content of the Vedanta, that is Jnana Kanda, therefore Gita also has the status of being a Upanishad. And the Upanishad removes the samsara by giving me knowledge. Similarly, Gita also gives me knowledge and removes the samsara, the problem of becoming. Samsara is not outside. Let us not think samsara is something outside. We have discussed it. Samsara is myself. my notions of samsara, and that puts me in a problem. That takes me for a ride. Therefore, that has to go, and for that we need knowledge, jnana, and jnanam is what the Gita gives. And Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna, in the form of a dialogue between them, this knowledge is presented by Vyasacharya. Okay. Now, who can study Gita? And what are the prerequisites, the conditions, or the qualifications for studying Gita? The qualification for studying Gita is same as the qualification required for studying Vedanta, Upanishads. Because the content or the teaching of the Upanishad and the Gita not being different, therefore, the qualifications or the prerequisites, what we call in Sanskritam, the Anubandha Chatushtayam and Sadhana Chatushtayam, what is required for studying Upanishad, it's the same. That is what is required for Gita also. So the Anubandha Chatushtayam and Sadhana Chatushtayam for Gita is same as that of the Upanishad. Why? Because Gita also teaches moksha, freedom. And those details we will see in the next class. This class we will discuss Sadhana Chatushtayam and moksha and Anubandha Chatushtayam. That we have discussed in some other classes, but we will have a brief introduction to that, and then we will land on the runway of Gita, probably in the class after next. So we will stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you, Saranji.
Thank you.